Head to CalgaryFlames.com for all your ticket information. On behalf of all of us here at the Calgary Flames, my name is Beasley, saying so long. Enjoy your evening. Happy holidays and a Merry Christmas from all of us. Now down to Brendan Parker and Cory Sarich, the post-game show presented by Original 16.
Original 16 gives you the chance to win one of 3 Calgary Flames fan experiences. Details in the new limited edition 15 packs of Canadian Pale Ale. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be of legal drinking age, no purchase necessary.
Welcome inside Flames Postgame Live. It's brought to you by Original 16, celebrating things done well. The Calgary Flames and St. Louis Blues. For the Flames, wrapping up a quick 2-game homestand here, and the last home game prior to Christmas. Brendan Parker alongside Cory Sarich, and unfortunately, it's a loss here tonight for the Calgary Flames in a what kind of felt like it was going to be another one of those one-goal games as they've played so many times this season. But in the end, 5-2 the final here tonight. St. Louis adds a couple in the third period. But what do we take away from a game like this? Obviously, heavily outshoot the opposition, but yet again have a little bit of trouble finding the offense.
Yeah, it almost feels a little surreal that the Flames did outshoot the St. Louis Blues tonight, because most of the great scoring opportunities came in at the other end of the rink, unfortunately. And again, this is a game where it's not a great start for the Calgary Flames. They're behind the 8 ball again, and they do a good job of staying in this game and battling back, but again, something's missing. And it was a very disjointed effort defensively and in their own end, and they ultimately paid the price because of it.
Let's take a look at the highlights here from tonight's hockey game, and we'll start back in the first period. And let's go to that beginning. And about 4 minutes in, it was an opportunity, kind of on an odd man rush here, and the 2-on-1 is finished off by Ivan Barbashev.
Yeah, and the giveaway, no one wants to see the giveaway at the other end of the rink, but it's a mistake that's made. But there's got to be more done here to negate this play. You give the shooter to the goalie, you move over, try to take that pass away. And again, ultimately, you got to get down and dirty there. There needs to be more done, more desperation in that play.
So that was the 1-0 goal, and then, but before the end of that first period, the Flames find a way to tie it up, and maybe a fortuitous bounce, maybe right place, right time. Either way, Connor Mackey scores his first of the season, takes that one off the body and in from Dylan Dubé.
Yeah, and it had been talked about earlier in the telecast about getting some bodies to the net, especially on the power play, and I don't know what Mackey's doing down there in front of the blue paint, but good on him, and hey, it's nice to see a bounce go the Flames' way.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been enough of those that go the opposite way this season, so that one is to their benefit, and it is a tie game 1-1. But in the second period, this was Jordan Kyrou, who's on a nice little tear here as of late, 4th point in the last 2 nights.
Yeah, and this is just, it's a nice feed here by Shen, and it's an incredible finish by Kyrou. And the unfortunate thing in this play, too, is at the other end of the rink, Flames had a chance, couldn't capitalize, and it comes back to bite them.
Odd man rush, but it was a power play goal. It was a shorthanded chance that Dubé and Mangiapane had at the other end, and then it comes back into your net. And then here they continue it. And this one was Pavel Buchnevich, who gets all kinds of time through the middle of the ice and then scores far side.
Yeah, and we've just seen this even last game and now this game. We've seen a lot of lost coverage in the Flames zone. I don't know if it's lack of communication, if it's a lack of application, but they're ending up with a lot of times 2 guys checking the same person, 3 men below the goal line, not having their heads on a swivel, and these are all just basic details of defense, and the Flames seem to have lost them here a little bit in the last couple of games.
Once again, they would make it a 1-goal game, and it was Connor Mackey, the double goal scorer. This one was a little cleaner on the entry and a little cleaner into the back of the net, but Mackey has his second of the season, second of the night. Nice little,
nice feed here from Dylan Dubé too. He's been playing some of their best hockey, I think, for this hockey club, and gets rewarded with a nice assist. And that's a couple games in a row now with Dubé and a couple of helpers.
Yeah, absolutely. Two assists on Wednesday, 2 assists tonight, but unfortunately, it would be a turnover in their own zone that would eventually seal this hockey game up, and that one's a backbreaker given the timing, isn't it?
Yeah, and you got to feel for Mackey here. There's a forward in the vicinity there. He's trying to make the right play, but again, it's a learning experience for a young guy, and it's maybe one of those pucks that you just got to eat, that you can't force that. You got to know the time, you got to know the place, and those are some of the growing pains of a young defenseman in this league.
Yeah, and obviously at that time, now at 4-2, and this would be the kind of the insurance marker. It ends up going off of Mackenzie Weegar, but kind of another broken down play that ends up on a lot of benefit.
Yeah, can I complain about the coverage again?
Yeah.
Again, someone needs to be talking, someone needs to be sorting this out. Weegar's facing up ice, direct Lucic where you want him to go, sort it out. Goal doesn't happen. I think it's pretty simple.
So 5-2 the final, and I think we were just talking multi-point nights for 5 different members of the St. Louis Blues, and kind of spread throughout their offense. And you know, for the Calgary Flames, they get 2 from Dylan Dubé in terms of helpers, 2 goals from Connor Mackey, and 41 shots, actually 42 shots, I think, by the end of the night. And unfortunately, only able to find the 2 goals. But, you know, not enough, as you kind of pointed out, not enough to necessarily look at the shots and maybe missed opportunities, other things at play there.
Yeah, and you can do what you want at that end of the rink, but if most of the mistakes are being made at the other end of the rink, you're fighting an uphill battle. And you can look at yourself as a professional after the game's done, and you know when teams have stolen or won games from you. You hold your head up high, you gave it your best, but when you give up opportunities and you just make it too easy for your opposition, those are really frustrating evenings, and it's just tough that this is the last one before the Christmas break, because it's good that they've got more hockey, but it's the last home one here for a little while, and that one's going to sting, especially for the fans. Yeah,
leave a sour taste, no doubt. All right, let's get our first reaction here from tonight's hockey game. Let's go inside the press conference room, listen in on head coach Darryl Sutter, his thoughts on tonight's 5-2 loss at the hands of the Blues.
The third, really poor back checking by one of our forwards, and then turnover below a goal line. One goal game going third period. You can't make those mistakes.
What did you see specifically on that long power play stretch in the second?
Ours?
Yeah.
Missed opportunities. We're in there the whole time, but again, that's production, performance production.
Do you think the group played with enough urgency tonight?
Pardon?
Do you think the group played with enough urgency tonight, or?
Yeah, it was 2-1 going into the third.
But in the third period, the wheels kind of fell off. So do you think they
didn't really fall off? as I said, I mean, you're going to write a book about the third period. It's a back-checking mistake and a turnover below the goal line. And the only defenseman in the league that can pass on his backhand to the middle of the ice below the goal line is Cale Makar. It's not that hard to figure out.
Is that one of those mistakes that are going to happen from time to time when you have some young guys in your lineup?
Yeah, but you know, when it's 2-1, the 3-1 goal is our D make a really good read there, right? And forward back checking's got to make a way stronger play. Shouldn't. Was it 89 that scored the goal? I think 89. Yeah, so got to be a little tighter there, the forward. It's too bad because, quite honest, as I said, we've been playing all these 1-goal games, and it's like you asked this morning. Well, it's still a 1-goal game, so it's still you still got to score that goal, right? You think about it.
So what's the key to preventing those mistakes in games for your players?
Just don't make them. That's not a complicated part of it either. I mean, check for chances.
Darryl, how do you feel your team's handling this kind of stretch of not getting results?
We're playing a lot of games short period of time, so that's how you're handling it, right? So you need those, it's like when Eric asks about those younger players now, well, they got to, that's part of the preparation and part of the thing. You're playing against a team that's probably got, 10 Stanley Cup champions or something like that on it tonight. So they're quite comfortable playing a 1-goal game going into the third.
All right, there's head coach Darryl Sutter, his thoughts following the loss, and a few things in there, obviously, and talked about some of those, basically what you laid out heading into those comments, just about some of the coverages and some of the mistakes, inevitably, especially when you're playing as many 1-goal games as this team has played, those are things that cost you games.
Yeah, and then we also talked about, as Darryl has mentioned earlier, you got to have some game breakers. You got to have some guys that can put games away for you. And if you're not getting that additional scoring, then your checking's got to be ultra tight. Your goaltending's got to be bang on, right? There's really no room for error.
No, yeah.
And that kind of explains the 1-goal games and maybe why the Flames have been coming up just a little bit short in all those affairs.
Well, and make the point, too, because I know it finishes 5-2 the final. It won't count as a 1-goal game. But, another thing Darryl pointed out was the fact that this is, for all intents and purposes, still a 1-goal game. You talk about going into the third period, you're just kind of right back into that position entering the final 20 minutes again here tonight.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity, again, going into a holiday break. I know the Flames have more games, but it's your last chance at home. I thought that we would see just an absolute buzzsaw coming out in the third period. Just a little bit missing there. And then, again, if it's not on the effort side, it comes down to execution. And, again, like Darryl said, that's up to professionals to get themselves prepared. And it's when things aren't going totally your way during a game, it's how to figure out how to do something different at different stages of the game. And they just didn't get that done in the third period.
All right, let's go inside the Calgary Flames locker room. Let's listen in on Connor Mackey meeting with members of the media now.
Memorable night for a lot of different reasons for you.
It's good to get on the board, but I'd rather take the 2 points.
You can talk about the giveaway. I know you took it hard on the bench there.
I got to be smarter with the puck. I feel like I let the guys down there. I can't be doing that right after we score 2. Get right back in it and then get right back out of it.
Can you talk about the 2 goals, how good that feels? I know you didn't win, but you got to feel good.
Yeah, no, definitely. First one was just kind of a weird one off my shoulder, and then the second one just dudes made a nice delay coming off the bench, hit me. So yeah, definitely, like I said, feel good to get on the board, but got to find a way to get a win here.
In both cases, you're for a young defenseman, you're really pushing offensively on both those plays. Is that a sign of a guy who's trying to really make his mark here and step up?
Yeah, of course. I think, offensive is part of my game. I feel like I'm a, two-way player. So I'm just trying to make those reads when I can, jump when I can, and, just kind of react to how the game goes. So.
Have you found you're starting to acclimate a little bit to the National Hockey League? You're playing consistent minutes right now. How do you feel you're sort of adapting?
Yeah, I feel better getting in this last couple games here. I feel more comfortable, so just trying to find a rhythm, and definitely a few things I want to clean up, but yeah, like I said, I think this time around I feel more comfortable in this run. So
You've mentioned a couple times you guys just got to find a way to get that win. Does it start eating at you when you guys have been close here a number of times, even coming out of the second period? Tonight it was pretty close. It just doesn't seem to go your way right now.
Yeah, I think, we're just staying strong in here. I think a couple OT shootout losses, and, tonight was not a great start by us. We kind of got down early, and I think, we got good leaders in this room here, so, they've been through the ups and downs, so we're fine, I think. We're just fine.
You mentioned staying strong. How have you guys been able to try to stay strong even though you guys are going through another tough stretch of games?
Yeah, just kind of back to basics, I think, for us. Like I said, I think, the leaders in this room and the voices in this room, it's been positive still. And it's good to hear them, like I said, they've been through it. So, we're just going to keep chipping away and keep building our game. And it's the last couple. Tonight maybe got away from us, but we're right in it. We could have had the couple wins before this game. And even tonight, we're right there and then shot ourselves in the foot.
Okay, thanks, Connor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, there you hear from Connor Mackey, and I know he has the pair of goals here tonight, but you can hear kind of obviously a little bittersweet given the fact at the end result here. And look at Connor Mackey tonight. Most time he's played this season, I think he was a little over 12 minutes in ice time too.
Yeah, and you know what? I got to give him credit. He's a good defenseman. He might have had a blunder tonight, but he did a lot of great things for this club, and it's the most relaxed I've seen him. Yeah, he looked comfortable. He looked like he was making good reads out there. I thought that him and Stone in their own end tonight were actually pretty spot on. They didn't have a lot of those mistakes that we were talking about. So that's good. That's growth, and it takes some time. He hasn't had a lot of action yet this year, and he's practiced a ton, but just not enough game time. And I think he's doing a pretty good job of earning his spot, and he's mixed into the offense. Now if you can learn from your mistakes and shore up kind of the big error in the third period, he's getting to where he needs to be.
Yeah, and for to his credit too, you talk about getting some consecutive games. I'd imagine as a defenseman, you've been in that spot before. It's like you finally can string a few together. Maybe you can sort of build on some of those things as well.
Yeah, and
3 straight
minutes. Minutes are important. If you're getting 5 to 10 minutes, that's not a lot that you can work with as a defenseman. As a defenseman, and a guy like Mackey, who's probably played a lot throughout his career in every situation, you're used to 15 to 20 minutes, probably on average an 18 or 19 minute guy. And when you don't get those minutes, man, you've got to produce, and you can't make mistakes with your minutes. So it's a very fine line.
Sure. Yeah.
It always is when you're the guy that's kind of on the bubble, and I've been there before. I know how it feels. Try to do good things. Don't do bad things, and then you'll get rewarded with more ice time from your coach, but it's easier said than done.
100%. Yeah. All right, let's go back inside the Calgary Flames locker room. Michael Backlund now standing by.
As a leader of this team, I think there are people watching who are thinking that this is starting to get away from you guys. I'm assuming that's not the feeling in the room.
No, it's not getting away from us. We know we can still do a really good thing here, but we got to pull it together here and be a lot better. Execution wasn't good enough tonight. Second, third efforts did dig in to score, and then we gave them some goals, but we haven't given up here. And we know we're chasing it for sure. We're behind in the standings. We know we got to play better, win more games, and we're gonna do it.
What was the crucial part of the game? Coach kept alluding to the fact that it was a 2-1 game for a good chunk there, and you guys just couldn't find that tying goal. Is that where the game got away?
I thought when Mackey scored a second, I thought we were, we're on again, and then unfortunately, or too quickly they scored again, and I think that's kind of where it started to feel, it's a big mountain to climb, it's just tough loss.
We know there's an urgency to get points, but I'm wondering if there is any heightened importance of that, knowing that the next few games you have coming up are teams in your division and also teams that are outside of the playoffs.
Well, we just look at it, like you said, divisional games. They're always hard-fought, tight games, and we got to go in with the mindset here that we need a really, really big road trip here, setting ourselves up to be in the playoff spot before Christmas. That's our main goal going into this road trip, and we know we can be better. We know we have to be better.
Do you think the group played with enough urgency tonight, Michael?
I thought the execution wasn't there, and we gave up sloppy goals where we just lost coverage and all that, and so yeah, I think it was more just execution and not giving up those goals.
In terms of sort of getting over that edge and turning these losses into wins, I mean, you guys have been very close. We've seen shootouts, overtimes. Does it feel like, I don't want to say missing piece, whatever's missing, does it feel like it's close?
Yeah, no, we have a good team here, but we got to show it too. But we're this far from like over, or we're starting to doubt ourselves. We know we can win games, but at the same time we know we're a team that's going to win by keeping it low, not giving up a lot of goals. We know we're going to be tight scoring games, and once in a while, we get a big win. But we know we got to play with the tight checking game, and we got to get back to that.
Is that different from last year?
Well, I think I don't like to compare last year this year. I mean, we swapped out some big names, got in some new big names. It's a big change up, so it's a process. This year we're bringing in losing guys and bringing new guys for sure.
Okay, thanks, Max.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Original 16, a great way to celebrate things done well.
All right, welcome back inside Flames TV post-game live. It is brought to you by Original 16, putting a wrap on the final home game before Christmas, at least for the Calgary Flames in this building, and then of course 4 more coming up on the road trip before we really get into the Christmas break here upcoming. As we talked about a little bit throughout the course of the night, it is Flames Foundation Night of Giving here this evening as well, and part of that is the alumni putting in some good work, and you were among those up on the concourse level here tonight, and the annual toy drive, I think 5th annual here tonight, and this was the scene in the concourse. What were you hearing? What were you seeing from fans as they were bringing in gifts for families? There you are, right there, Sarich, best dressed guy in the concourse tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to win that award tonight.
All suited and booted.
No, it was lots of fun. Nice big lineup of fans to see Lanny as always.
Yeah.
Lots of cash gifts tonight. Lots of gifts of food cards, donations of toys. Lots of people brought lots of things, and there was multiple drop stations throughout the building. We tried to have a few alumni at each station, just greeting the fans, signing a few autographs. Energy was great in the building, and it's really nice to see from, I think it was maybe Rhett Warner's idea originally, and it's grown, it's gained some traction, but there was still, I guess, a lot of people that didn't know about this event. So next year we're gonna have to do an even better job of getting our voices out there, letting people know, letting them know where the drop spots are, and with those toys, the alumni, this is going to be the scary part, are going to get together on the 22nd and try to sort and wrap all those gifts, make sure they get out to where they need to go, and they're going to go around and spread some cheer throughout our community on the 24th.
That's awesome. Yeah, always one of our favorite videos, guys, door to door, kind of on Christmas Eve, delivering those gifts. What I do like, I would like to see though, is the footage of you trying to wrap up some of those. That's it.
We should maybe have a wrap off. You can pick your favorite alumni and see who's got what kind of skills.
Something circular. That's what
I definitely don't trim the ends of stuff when I wrap gifts. No, if I got way too much stuff, it just gets folded up and taped.
I feel like you'd be going through a lot of tape. Yeah.
A lot of Scotch tape required.
Scotch tape. We are open to Scotch tape partnerships here for 22nd and wrapping up some of those gifts here tonight. Awesome though. Great footage. Great to see so many fans bringing in gifts, and thanks to all Flames fans who made an effort to bring in something, and obviously it's going to a great cause, as you've talked about, will be delivered on the 24th, and some lots of gift cards and cash and things like that too, which goes a long way in our community. So thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too.
Big plans now? We got
nothing too crazy. Little skiing, little snow.
Little break. Good stuff. Thanks, Cory. And thanks to all of you for watching our pre-Christmas schedule. Flames fall 5-2 here tonight in their final game before the Christmas break. We'll be back here in the Scotiabank Saddledome in the new year. As for the Flames, they continue onward. 4 more road games to go before Christmas Eve. It starts in San Jose coming up on Sunday, the first of back-to-back games at the Shark Tank. And then we're here at the 27th. It's the Edmonton Oilers, the final battle of Alberta of the season, coming up after the Christmas break, right back here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Thanks for watching Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. We'll see you right here at the Scotiabank Saddledome on the 27th of December.